Hey y'all, let's go ahead and let's share this training. Let's share this training. I'm just letting some time go by so we can get some people in the room. And I had to come to my car because I don't know what's going on with my internet at my house, but I had to go to my car. So let's go ahead and let's share this training. It's going to be great. It's going to be intensive. It's going to be a note-taking opportunity. So please have a pen, have a paper. And the reason I'm doing this is because so many times people ask me, what do you do? What are you doing? How do you get the deals that you get? Drop the ebook, do the training course. And I'm a guy of instant action taking. And what do I mean by that? Is that when an idea comes to my mind, I move on it as quickly as possible. Once again, when an idea comes to my mind, I move on it as quickly as possible. So I really just thought about, man, let me just do a training class on my birthday. And I moved with it just like that. So I'm excited about the information that I'm going to have for you guys here today, and also some tools that I'm going to give you guys towards the end. But let's go ahead and let's share this. It's a training that's I believe that I'm going to be a student of as well. I believe I'm always a student. I'm always learning. So definitely want to hear it back from you guys, but also an opportunity so we can sharpen our tools. I've been very successful at working with sellers, and I was in the car with a colleague of mine yesterday, and she's like, man, you probably don't even have to make calls anymore, but I still make calls each and every single day. But as we were driving, we literally got a phone call about someone that wanted to list their property, not once, but twice while we were in the car for the day yesterday. So excited about those opportunities that are coming to the market soon. And really just wanted to be able to take the knowledge that I've been able to learn, folks, take the knowledge that I've been able to learn and just share it with people. There's so many times out there that people want to put a dime on something. They want to put a dollar amount on something. And it's useful information that really everyone has access to. Give me one second. Everyone has access to. If I can do it, you can do it as well. And I just want to be able to be that vessel to you guys that says that if I can do it, you can do it as well. What happens is that sometimes we learn the information and we don't want to share it with other so much further, folks. Collaboration has got me so much.
Jeff, you're going in and out. We can't hear you.
Did I lose you guys?
Yeah, I didn't hear like the last couple of seconds that you just spoke. Like we didn't I don't think we heard anything you said. It cut off.
All right. What I said was that what happens is a lot of times is that people like to put a dollar amount on stuff, and what I believe is that they believe that someone's going to take the information and they're going to do better than them. What we do is we got to, as leaders, folks, as leaders, we got to create leaders. As leaders, folks, we got to create leaders. So I've always believed that you can give the information to 10 people. You can give the information to 10 people, but guess what? Maybe one, two, three people are going to really use it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. It's 10:08. I want to make sure one particular person is in here because they asked me if I was running late, which is not true. Um, hold on. I want to make sure no one misses the information. So let's go ahead and let's share. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and share my screen right off of my phone. Love technology for the way it is today. Drop where you guys tuning in from. Also, I want to audit the room real quick. Where's everybody tuning in from? Where is everyone tuning in from? Drop that in the chat. We got Lake Worth, North Miami Beach. Thank you for the birthday wishes. We got Atlanta in the house. Thank you for the birthday wishes, y'all. Hold on, I need to go to my settings. Awesome. And then now let's drop. What are you guys looking to get out of today's session right now? Today's session, what are you guys looking to get out of?
Jeff, can we talk through the mic or you want us to go through the chat?
You can talk through the mic, of course.
Okay. So Jeff, I just want to say I really happy birthday, and I really appreciate, you taking out the time to share knowledge with us, because as you stated earlier, a lot of people gatekeep, um and they don't want to see the next person, elevate. And I think that we, as like you stated earlier, we as professionals, we need to elevate each other and help each other. I mean, you could tell a person one thing and it's up to them to actually, take initiative and follow through with it. Um, and a lot of people just don't think the same way. So I just want to say I really appreciate this. It really means a lot. And I mean, you just added me on social media. So to, have this new friendship and then be invited to this, like, it really means a lot to me. So I'm looking forward to everything.
Beautiful. What is everyone else looking to get out of today? And please, yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself. I like that it's a small room. I like that it's a small room right now. We got about 12, 13 people in here, because now we can be very intimate and really talk about goals. So what is everyone else getting out of here? I see my friend Leticia in here. I see Nadine in here. Welcome, guys. And these are no novice to real estate that's up in this room today. So thank you for giving me your time and being here with us. Give me 1 sec. Why is my screen share not working? 1 second, folks. Can you guys see my screen now? Beautiful, beautiful. All right, good, good, good. All right, so number one, a little bit about me. I've been doing real estate for 14 years, guys. I've been in the industry for about 14 years, and really, I was a part-time agent. And from being a part-time agent, I said, what do I need to do to be successful? And my manager, which was my broker at that time, says, you got to go full time. So I literally quit my job, guys, and I turned around and I said, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to be committed. I'm going to go all in. And then from there, my first year of real estate, I made $6,000, guys, just 6,000 bucks. And it was in the worst times. It was in like 09, 08 market. And people were like, even my aunt, I remember calling my aunt, and I not know how real estate worked, and didn't understand what a listing agreement was, and didn't understand having a property on the market. So she was selling her condo, folks. And I called her and I said, hey, I got my real estate license. I want to sell your condo. And she's like, why would you get into real estate now? This is the worst time to get into real estate, and I undergraded in law. I have a law degree. And what happened was a lot of people were like, you need to go pursue law. You need to go do that. So what I did was, while I was doing real estate, I was in school, but I always had a passion for continuing to do real estate. So about 2016, I started my real estate team. But about 2018, folks, 2018, I really dived in and I said, man, I think I found my niche. My niche is working with sellers. And then from there, guys, I started doing 100 units a year. So last year I did about 85 units. Okay, really worked on building my team with the company that I'm in. It allows me to be in multiple states. So really worked on building my team. But the year before that, 120 deals. The year before that, 140 deals. And really primarily 110% of it is making phone calls, talking to sellers, expired appointments, getting listings, and a small portion of it is buyers. I was joking the other day, guys, and a great friend of mine was pre-approved for 700 something thousand. And I had told him, excuse the notifications. I had told him that I'm gonna work on it. So I started to go on the MLS and I started doing the property research. And I said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to drive around. I don't want to be showing property. I don't want to do this. It's not really what I want to do. So I referred it out to one of my partners because my goal is really to focus on getting appointments, getting listings. And as you guys have been seeing me say, I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook, is that my goal is really to help $40 million of people this year. And I want to do that by creating expired and listing opportunities with FISBOs as well. I want to do that by collaboration opportunities. I want to do that by my database. And I want to do that by really growing in particular areas. So I've been doing a lot of commercial. I've been doing a lot of luxury. Guys, I have an $8 million piece of land. And I want to share this with you guys because I want you guys to go ahead and take these properties and advertise them. I have an $8 million piece of land that is in Bonita Springs. The comps are anywhere from 7.2 to 8.5. The houses that are being sold there are anywhere from 16 million, 20 million, and 40 million. So directly on Hickory Boulevard, which leads you directly to the beach. So I have that piece of land. And then I got another piece of land for 3.5. Okay, that is in Cape Coral. That's for 3.5. I have a house that's on the water, directly on the water. It is about 45 minutes away from the Spear, in Cape Coral as well. I have a 1.2 that's coming on the market here in Plantation. So if you guys are interested in that inventory, just get back with me because I definitely wanted you guys to showcase that and work on getting buyers for that property. And really, I just want to just get the property sold for the sellers so like that they can give me more referrals. Okay. So the number one thing that I want to talk to you guys about is working the listing and getting the listing. So one of the one things that I always do is I always provide the seller with a worry-free listing agreement. Okay, what does that mean? That means that the worry-free opportunity, you guys can see what happened here. You guys can see the screen? I don't know what happened there. The worry-free opportunity means that I am going to allow you the opportunity to get out of this agreement at any time that you feel uncomfortable, at any time you decide that you no longer want to sell your home. And why do I do that is because a lot of times we don't get the agreement or we don't get the signature because we want to tie the seller into a 12-month, into a 6-month, into a 3-month. And by me letting the sellers know off bat, they have a worry-free listing agreement, which I use the word marketing agreement. What that does is that lowers their barriers for them to know that, hey, this guy is somebody that I can definitely negotiate with. This guy's a guy that I can definitely work with. Okay. So by doing that, that provides me the opportunity to really win the appointment. Okay. So, and and this is really how I put it. I say, Mr. Seller, let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's go ahead and sign the agreement today. Okay. At any time that you say, hey, I no longer want to sell the property, or hey, I think we should take the property off the market, or I want to do anything, I'll go ahead and I'll remove the home off the market. Okay. So like that, they're not tied into anything. And if any of you guys are callers out there and you're working with FISBOs or you're working with expires, especially FISBOs, the number one reason why they don't sell is not because of a commission. It's because they don't want to be tied down. They want you to bring them a buyer. When they say bring them a buyer, that means they want the opportunity to be free. They want to date many people, you know? So, and you know how I know that it's okay for them to pay a commission, that it's not really the commission question? Because one of the one phrases is also, if I bring you a willing and able buyer, would you be willing to pay me a compensation? That's one of the script questions. They're going to say yes or no. They're going to automatically, most of the time, 90% of the time, they're going to say yes. Then I'm going to say, what are you willing to pay? They're going to say, I'm willing to pay anywhere from two. I'm willing to pay anything from 2 to 3%. Okay. So from 2 to 3% is what they're going to say they're going to be willing to pay. So I know automatically that they're willing to pay a commission. Okay. Which leads us into our commission structure. Slide number 2 is our commission structure. Okay. So what I do is I say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm excited that you're interested in knowing what my commission is because I have a commission plan. Because the next question that they're going to ask you is, what is your commission? And I say, my commission is 0% upward. Use that terminology, 0% upward, because what that means is that I can charge them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20%. You know what I mean? Especially with the stuff that's happening right now with NAR. you really don't want to bind yourself to any type of commission structure that's out there, because we have to think back, let's say about 2-3 years ago when the whole Section 8 thing was going out there, okay? There were private investigators, there were people that were paid, to basically say, hey, do you accept Section 8 rentals? Do you accept Section 8 rentals? Do you accept Section 8 rentals? And the moment that you would say no, you would automatically get hit with a lawsuit, okay? So now that we're noticing that the whole NAR lawsuit is all around commission, you definitely want to let sellers know that you have a flexible commission plan. Okay. So my commission plan could be 6%, it could be 7%, it could be 5%, it could be 3%, it could be whatever it is. Okay. Because you don't want there to be a private investigator, or you don't want there to be someone that's a hoax out there that calls you and you now say, hey, my commission is standard 6%, or my company's commission is standard 7%. Okay, because there are people that are going to start going out there that's going to be trapping you. So what do you see here? You see a commission structure. So you can take an image of this one, or you can go ahead and you can create your own. What I wanted to do was provide you guys a model and some ideas, just some ideas of what's out there, of what you can offer them as a commission structure. So 5% is always going to get less than 6%. 6% is going to definitely get less than 7%. Okay. And then my 1%. So let's say, for example, they're a for sale by owner, or they're an expired, or they're just a friend or family member, or just someone that just needs assistance and me handling the paperwork, doing the negotiations. We charge 1%. Okay. So have I been able to successfully do some of those? Yes, I have, because people call me and say, hey, Jeff, I have a buyer that wants to buy my house. Can you handle the paperwork? Okay. So I can obviously intake what's the work that I'm going to have to do. Do I need to negotiate with the buyer? Do I need to represent the buyer? If that, then what I do is I go for like a 3%. Okay. But if I'm just straight negotiating the seller, it's my first time doing a Zoom on my phone, y'all. I don't know why it keeps doing that. If I straight represent the seller, then I go ahead and I charge them a 1%. And I'm actually doing one as we speak right now. I did one in December, and I did one earlier of last year. So not a lot, but I do them. Okay. All right. One of the services that we offer them at the listing presentation is a professional cleaning service. Okay. So this is a part of my marketing plan. Okay. Is that we're going to show them what we provide to them as value. Okay. So professional cleaning. So a lot of times people are concerned about getting their house on the market as quickly as possible, because they have to declutter, they have to paint, they have to move stuff into a pod, they have to do an estate sale, they have to do a yard sale, garage sale. So one to offer them, and this is my marketing plan, guys. You can take the ideas, or you can say, hey, I'm gonna create my own off of these. Okay, is a professional cleaning service. Okay. We also offer home staging as well. Now, with the home staging, guys, we do one or two things. We can offer where the seller pays up front, or we can offer where we pay it as well. Okay. And then now, when you decide to pay it, you can do one or two things now. You can either pay it at the time of closing as a credit from the commission, or you can pay it up front to the staging company. But why is this so important, guys? This is so important that you got to go out there and you got to go find 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stagers that you guys work with, because you want to find a stager that you built a rapport with, that they understand that you can pay them at the time of closing. Okay. The seller may not remember this or know of this, but what you want to do is you want to create that relationship and say, hey, John, hey, Jessica, hey, Matt, can you come over here and stage this house? And I'll pay you at the time that the property gets sold. Okay. Now, if you can't find a relationship like that, or you don't have a relationship like that, then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and understand what their agreements is. So when you're interviewing stagers, you want to understand what their agreement is. Do they do full staging, or they do semi-staging? Okay. Do they use the seller's pieces, or do they not use the seller's pieces? Okay. In addition to that, what you want to also do is you also want to know what are the terms. Okay. So some stagers out there, you pay them $5,000 up front. You can keep the furniture as much as you want, as long as you want. You can even sell it with the house. Other stagers that are out there, the furniture is rented. So due to the fact that the furniture is rented, they're going to go ahead and say, hey, it's going to be $2,500 up front. We'll come ahead, we'll stage the home, and then it's going to be a $500 keep fee. Okay. $500 rental fee every single month. Okay. So what you're doing as you're interviewing people that are out there, you want to go ahead and line item what does each staging company offer, and then also ask them for works, ask them for copies of their works. I have two stagers that I primarily use, and what I'm always doing is always interviewing new stagers, because what I may stage a $300,000 home with, I may not stage a $2 million home with. And I want to make sure that the person that I'm using, the staging company and the stager, knows how to operate with those type of people. My $300,000 buyers and my $700,000 buyers and my 2 million buyers. Okay. I actually ran into this one time. Okay. I was staging a property for I wish it was. I was staging a property for $285,000. Okay. And I brought in one of my big stagers. They do Wynwood, they do Brickell, they do Palmetto Bay, they do those places that like that. Okay. And I brought him in, and guess what? The client was referred to me. So I got there with the stager. The stager walked the house. The stager gave her recommendations. The stager said to paint the house, do this, do that, do this, do that. And what happened was I almost lost the listing because the seller felt like I was not in favor of her and what her goals were. Okay. So what I did was I had to quickly find another stager that was more of her tier. And guess what? That stager said, we're going to come ahead, we're going to stage the house, we're going to use your pieces. You don't need to paint, because she had a lot of African art in her house. We're going to use your pieces. Okay. So understand that as you guys are interviewing stagers, one of the big things to do is to make sure that you're looking at their work. What have they done? Can they show you some houses that they've done off the MLS? Can they send you their before and after photos? Those type of stuff, but definitely have stagers in your arsenal. Okay. Offering of moving services. Okay. Create some movers. I have 3 to 5 moving companies that I work with. Now with the moving companies, guys, you want to find some that possibly pay referral fees. Okay. There are some companies out there that pay referral fees, like All My Sons Movings with Jameson. They pay referral fees. So what you do is you refer the client to them, they move the client, and at the time of that, they pay you a 10-15% referral fee. But also you want to make sure that you provide that to the owners, because you want to make sure that the owner has a stress-free moving possibilities. Okay. So Mr. Seller, at the time that we get your property under contract, we get it sold, we're going to go ahead and recommend you 3 moving companies, and you have the opportunity to interview them. Okay. And then you choose which ones you want to work with. Okay. Some of them go from state to state. Some of them go from city to city. Some of them come and they package your stuff. Some of them don't package your stuff. Okay. Some of them have equipment that you can use, you can borrow. Some of them have trucks that you can even borrow as well. So create the staging company. We offer that. Okay. The rehab program. Okay. So sometimes the sellers want to sell for top dollar. One of the first questions I ask them, guys, one of the first questions I ask them is that at the time that we put your house on the market, are we going to be selling it in its as is conditions, or do you plan on doing anything else with the home? Okay. So now I know that, hey, they need to paint. Hey, they need to fix this. Hey, they need to fix that. Or no, they're going to say, no, Jeff, I want to sell it as is. What that's doing is that's painting 2 pictures in my mind. Picture number 1, it's painting that, hey, this house is going to go very fast or it's going to go very slow. Picture number 2 is that it's painting in my mind is that we're working with a seller that's probably not going to be putting the house on the market right away because they need to take care of certain stuff. Okay. So the next thing that's coming to my mind is coming soon opportunity, which is not on here. Okay. When a seller says, hey, Jeff, we need to paint, we need to remove some stuff, we need to put some stuff in storage, we need to do this, we need to do that, I'm automatically thinking 21 days if you're in Florida or whatever your MLS grants you, coming soon opportunity, because that's going to be the next thing that I speak to them about. Okay. My goal, folks, and your goal is that when you go to an appointment, you leave with a signature. Okay. And we're going to talk about closing. Okay. I believe you got to close 7 to 10 times when you get there. And one of my first closes, I don't know if you guys caught that, was right when I said, when I walk in the door. When I walk in the door, I said, at the time that we put your house on the market, are you going to be selling it in its as is condition, or are you going to be doing stuff? I'm automatically closing the first 5 seconds. I'm already in through the door. Okay. Because as I use certain keywords, I'm mind framing them to understand that we're going to be in a collaboration. We're going to be in a partnership, hopefully by the end of today. Okay. So now with the rehab program, what you guys want to do is you want to check with Curbio, which is one of the companies that's out there, or local companies that's here. Okay, I have a local company that they'll do the rehabs for your house and they'll finance. Actually, I have two companies that will do the rehab for your home and they will finance it. So what they'll do is I'll say, hey, John, I have a property. She's interested in doing the rehabs. She wants to either pay cash or she wants to finance it. Okay. I have a house that we're putting on the market between Saturday and Sunday, and they financed the rehab. They did the kitchen. No, they didn't do the kitchen. They did the floors. They did the bathrooms. They did paint. They did windows. They did doors, and the company financed them. Okay. So what I do is I let the sellers know that you can finance the rehab and it's paid at the time of closing. Okay. Or you can take some type of contract out with the company and you pay them over time. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm providing the seller the opportunity to sell for top dollar, which is what everyone wants, right? Okay. And then in addition to that, guys, what I just added on, I just learned this piece just about, I'd say about 4 or 5 months ago, which I added on, is that I created my own little package. Okay. And if the rehab is small, I let the seller know that, hey, we'll go ahead and we'll front the rehab. We have a $3,000 package and we have a $15,000 package that I provide to my customers. Okay. So we create a contract. Okay. The contract sent to the title company. We provide the invoice to the seller. We have the seller sign the invoice. Okay. And then after that, what we do is we send that to the title company as well. And then we get reimbursed at the time of closing. So like that, if the seller needs to remove popcorn, if they need to change their carpet floors, if they need to paint, if they need to fix something, if they need to do landscaping, if they need to do the pool, whatever it is, we're able to fund that. Okay. And guess what? That's another tool, because sometimes you're sitting there with sellers that are just not in the position to do it at all price points, folks, at all price points. Don't believe that you're walking into a $700,000 home that they have it all together. They don't sometimes. Okay. Don't believe you're walking into $1 million property and they have it all together. They don't sometimes. Okay. So at all price points, we provide them that opportunity as well. So if you guys are in the position to do that, you go ahead and do that. So let's say, for example, the property doesn't close, which is probably one of the questions that you guys have. We go ahead and we provide a construction lien onto the property. Okay. Cash offers. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to present them with cash offers. Okay. Now, do people want cash offers? Yes, they do. Okay. I'm giving you guys real life scenarios right now. I literally lost a listing. Because the lady wanted to sell her house fast. Okay. While a person is your hand up? While the lady wanted to sell her house fast, my goal is always to think about, man, highest price, man, highest price, man, highest price, man, highest price. But the lady really wanted to sell her house fast. She wanted to be out of here. Okay. I interviewed with her. Everything went well. She was extremely excited with me. She was going to go ahead and sign. And she said, let me think about it. A few days later, I called her to follow up. And she said an investor presented an offer to me and I took it. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to let the sellers know that I have a cash offer program for you out there. Okay. Now, what do you need to do with your cash offer opportunities is you need to look for companies that will buy the home in its as is condition. Okay. Or you need to start creating your list of investors that are out there. Okay. Create a list of investors, 10 investors, 20 investors, 30 investors, 50 investors. Start going to investor meetups so that you can start building that list out, because I literally had this happen to me because I have an investors list. One of my clients was under contract to purchase a property. She says, hey, I don't think I'm going to move forward with the deal. I said, man, this is such a good deal. I had 3 of my investors that I was able to show the property to in 1 hour. One of them said, Jeff, I'll take it. He says, Jeff, if you believe it's a good deal, let's move with it. He didn't even see the property. He's in New York. He didn't even see the property. We sent the contract. We switched the buyer from one contract to another. I sent the cancellation at the same time, and we were able to move forward. Okay. So that's because I have my list of investors. I know who to go to. So remember to always create that list as well. Okay. Your cash offer opportunities as well. Okay. It provides an opportunity for simplicity. We don't have to go through showings. Okay. You may not have to repair anything because you're selling the house in its as is condition. You're selling the property in its as is condition. Okay. Next, subject 2, the biggest talk that's out there. Let me poll the room real quick. I want to do a quick poll to the room. Okay. So drop a 1 in the chat if you guys ever heard about subject to. Hey, Teska. Drop a 1 in the chat if you ever heard about subject to. Okay, so this is the next big thing that's out here now that everyone's talking about. We were on a call this morning, they even brought it up. So this is the thing that you want to educate yourself on, because it may be a conversation that a seller may even bring to your face. They may even bring it up to you. Okay, so subject to is when a buyer or an investor pretty much pays a seller for their keys. Okay, so let's say, for example, a seller owns a house. The house is worth about $500,000, but guess what? They may be in arrears or they may not be in arrears. Okay, they may be in arrears or they may not be in arrears, but guess what? They want cash. They want to get out. They may need to relocate. They may have a death in the family. They may not want to deal with the home anymore. Okay. And what they're going to say is, they're going to say, find me somebody that can get me cash quickly. Okay. So now what that person's going to do is they're going to take over the mortgage, okay, through a quick claim deed. Okay. And they're going to pay the seller 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever they agree on. And what the seller's going to do is the seller's going to provide them the note of the property, okay, the title of the home. And now the buyer is going to go ahead and give them that money, and they're going to go on with their day, okay? Now, with that, there's language in there that says, hey, you need to refinance the house within 2 years. You need to refinance the house within 3 years. You need to refinance the house within 6 months, those type of stuff. So these are things that you want to educate yourself with. Now, with educating yourself, you now want to work with a title company that knows how to work with investors, okay? That's another thing you want to create in your arsenal. Have your one title company that works with investors, because they understand investor deals, they understand assignments, they understand subject to, they understand those stuff that happen in investors' worlds. Okay, they understand wholesaling as well. Okay, all right. Video marketing, video marketing, video marketing, video marketing. Video is the number one thing that gets the most views nowadays. Okay, now remember, if you take a video and you upload it onto YouTube, it now shares onto Google because Google owns YouTube. So now you're able to get your seller more exposure by presenting stuff through video. Okay, now you can also take the videos and you can also boost them. You can also take the videos and turn them into reels. And now you're seeing that before, Instagram was very big about reels, but now guess what? You're seeing Facebook. Facebook is turning everything into a reel. So now what you want to do is you want to do short videos, long videos, you want to do vertical videos, and you want to do horizontal videos. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to get yourself a videographer, not just a photographer, a videographer that understands that, hey, to maximize the exposure on your home, Mr. and Mr. Seller, I'm going to bring in my photographer and videographer. Okay. And now what they're going to do is they're going to get content. Some content may be with me inside of it. Some content may be without me in there. Okay. And videos sell. You know, people look at videos when they're at work, you know, and also use videos for your closing as well. Use videos for your under contract. Use videos for your open houses. Create content, because what you're doing, folks, is as you continue to create the content, you're creating your portfolio that you can send to sellers. My team dropped these 2 videos on here that we just did last week. I didn't even know these were on here. Okay. So continue to do that. Create the videos, or maybe get yourself a camera person, or get yourself a selfie stick, or get yourself a DJI. Okay. Or get yourself a drone, or get yourself a professional camera. I hear that some of the professional cameras out there are Sony's. Okay. Now, if you're going to get yourself those professional tools, make sure you train yourself on how to use them. I'm very nervous, guys. I'm very, very nervous. One of my properties that are coming onto the market, the seller signed. She said, I want the house on the market on Monday. And I said, great, let's do it. I said, when can the photographer come? She says, I'm going to take my pictures myself because I'm a camera person. And I said, okay. So I'm a little bit nervous, y'all, about how these photos are going to look. But guess what? If they don't look good, I'm going to let the seller know that these photos look good for you, but I don't believe that these are the photos that we should be showcasing your home to get a top dollar. And we have to be okay to say that, folks, because we have to understand that once we put the photos out there, one, it's a signature of the property, but it's also a signature of us as well, you know? So I even remember doing professional photos on rentals when people were not doing professional photos on rentals. They were only doing it on sales, okay? I remember when I started using professional photos, 2014, I started using a photographer, you know? So you want to make sure that you're able to always take professional photos, use that as content, use that to build up your portfolio, use that to show sellers. So what I do, guys, is when I go to listing appointments, and I say, hey, we're going to do photography, we're going to do videography. If I end up doing a city video, some of my listings, I do city videos for a higher package because I want to highlight why the people are moving here. I bring that video up to the seller and I pull it right on my phone, right through YouTube or right through Instagram or right through the Dropbox, and I say, this is the video that we're gonna go ahead and showcase your home through, okay? And I provide that to them, okay, so that they can see exactly what it's gonna look like. And once they say, and a lot of times they say, "Wow, that's so cool. That's really nice." What I'm doing is I'm closing them there. I'm closing them, okay? Because guess what? John just came with his folder and John just spoke about the houses that he sold and gave out a few flyers, but I was able to grab the seller through visual. Okay. So short form, long form, as we said, create a YouTube channel. Guys, create a YouTube channel. I don't know if you're on YouTube just yet, but create a YouTube channel. Why do I say create a YouTube channel? Not to get followers, not to get paid, but the number one reason is that YouTube shares to Google. Okay. So with YouTube sharing to Google, when you search someone, you're going to automatically see their videos up on the top. Okay. So what does that do? That adds validation to you. How does that add validation? Because when you tell the seller to Google you, which is what I always do, Mr. Seller, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at 4 o'clock today. Here's a copy of my business card. And also, I'd love for you guys to go ahead and Google me. Here's a link that I've already prepared for you guys. I want the sellers to know who I am before I walk in through the door. Okay? I literally want an appointment like that. Okay? I go to list the property. The husband was already meeting with people. He was a for sale by owner. He was already meeting with people. And the lady did not want to sign just yet. The husband was adamant about signing with his two guys. They were partners. Okay? I get there. I meet with them. And I just wowed the guy. I just wowed him. And he says, Jeff, we were going to sign with these people. And my wife told me to hold off. She says, I Googled you. I knew you were good. I knew we wanted to work with you. I knew it, you know? And that made me feel good. That made me feel good to know that I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? And to know that the guy had some intuition about signing with these other people, but he decided to hold off because of his wife. Happy wife, happy life, as they say. But also, I was pleased that they did not sign because he was now able to work with me. So build a YouTube channel to document the journey of what you guys are doing, number one, which is what I'm starting to do now. I wish I would have did it 14, 13, 12 years ago. It's to document the journey of what I'm doing, but also it's a resume to my customers, okay? So y'all see me doing property tours. I'm not really doing property tours because I want to work with buyers. You guys already understand my lingo on that. It's really so I can showcase to the sellers what I do for properties and what I'll do for them. Okay. If a buyer comes out of it, hey, I love it. I definitely want to grab the buyer and work with them or share them off with my team. But really, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and showcase to the sellers what we're going to do. So I want to build that YouTube channel. Okay. Facebook ads. So now, guys, when you get the listings, you want to go ahead and you want to create a budget, some type of budget where you're going to do postcards, you're going to run ads, okay, and you're going to do mailers, okay. So Facebook has allowed me the opportunity to win customers over as well. I show them through the Facebook ads the growth that we get. When I walk into a seller's appointment and I show them, hey, this ad had 20,000 views. This ad had 50,000 impressions. This ad hit 1 million. This ad went viral. This is a wow to sellers, especially sellers that are not very tech savvy. They're going to understand that, man, you got clout, you know? And then also what it's going to do, sellers that are savvy, they're going to understand that, hey, for you to get those amount of views, for you to get those amount of clicks, you probably put a lot of money into it. So I'm running ads, Mr. Business Seller. I'm going to run ads on your home from today up until the day that the property is sold. Okay. And maybe you're doing $5 ads. Maybe you're doing $20 ads. Okay. Depending on the listing, we automatically always start at $20 ads all the way through until the listing is sold. Okay. And I've been using Facebook a lot more because I don't have an Instagram. I'm trying to grow an Instagram. I had lost my Instagram page back in February, so I'm growing a new one. So I've been running Facebook ads a lot, and those analytics have helped me to not only get traction, and I get traffic through those. I get traffic through those because remember, once you run those ads, the people now respond to you in Marketplace. So make sure you have your Messenger, Facebook Messenger on your phone. Make sure you have your notifications on. And sometimes they'll fall into the other folder on Messenger. You want to make sure that you read those messages. Okay. You want to make sure that you read those messages because you can get leads through there, especially when I have rental listings. I get a lot of leads through there and it provides me the opportunity to double dip. Okay. So targeted ads. So be cost effective with your ads. If you can only afford $1 a day, then start off with $1 a day. If you can only afford $3, start off with $3. If you can afford $5, okay. What I say to not do, and sometimes people do that, is they just throw like quick $500 at it. If you're gonna throw $500 at it automatically, you want to make sure that you watch how many people it's gonna hit. You watch what the hits, what the looks are gonna look like. Okay, so if I do $500, am I going to hit enough people where I don't have to hit another $500 as well? Okay. This is an ad that we're running right now on a condo training that we're doing, guys. So as you guys know, the condo market is definitely changing right now with everything that happened to the Champlain Towers. Condo dues are up. Sometimes homeowners are unable to afford the properties because of the special assessments that are there, the higher insurances that are there, stuff like that. So what we found out is that there's a niche for people that want to sell their condos and they want to relocate. Maybe they want to go into other condos. Maybe they want to go into single family homes. So what I'm going to do is I've created an event that I definitely open the doors to all of you guys to join me on, and it's about the 10 commandments of buying and selling of a condo. So what we're going to do is we're going to really educate people, special assessment, condo docs, rules and regulations, rental policies, um, estoppels, insurance, those type of stuff. Okay. I literally have a buyer of mine that's closing right now, and she went to do the HOA interview, and they said after this year, rentals are no longer allowed. Wait a minute, she brought the property so she can rent it out. So I said, hey, let's go ahead and let's look back at the comps. And maybe what we need to do is we need to rehab this home and sell it. Okay. So I definitely open the door for you guys on that. Open houses. That's another thing that I ask the seller. I say, hey, at the time that we put your house on the market, are you open to us doing an open house? Let me see if I can do this. Yes. You guys can still see my screen? Beautiful. At the time that we put your house on the market, do you like open houses? Are you okay with brokers opened? So I had a customer, my 1.2 that's coming on the market. She says, we just don't want a lot of people here. So what I told her is that we have what we call a controlled open house, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Okay. I have myself plus two other people are going to be here to assist me with the open house. One person is going to stand at the front door and greet the people. I'm going to walk a set of people through the home, and then my colleague is going to walk another set of people through a homes. That's why it's important to have those collaborations, okay? So now what I'm able to do is I'm able to bring in other partners that can now get buyer leads. I can showcase the home more. I can get more eyes on the property because these people are now going to share my listing, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm going to protect the seller of their valuables and not a lot of people walking in through the home, okay? And what it also does, it also shows the seller that I have a game plan of how I'm going to do this. Okay. So Yeah, I was able to share that with them. They were excited to hear that. And it went from no, I don't want to do open houses to yes, let's go ahead and do them. You understand? So open houses are big, but you have definitely want to know, can you get permission to do open houses from the sellers? Okay. If the sellers are looking for open houses, you definitely want to make sure, if you don't want to do them, like I don't do open houses on my listings, I give them out to my partners. You go ahead and you get your partners to go ahead and do those open houses because sellers are looking for those. Now, real quick, let's take note on this. How do I know that a seller is looking for an open house? One of the questions that I asked them is that, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, at the time that you list your home on the market, what is it that you're looking for in a realtor? Sometimes they don't know. They'll say, never really thought about that. No one's never really asked me of that. Then what I'll do is I'll say, list 3 things that you're looking for. A lot of time you'll hear aggression. You'll hear someone that's aggressive. You'll hear someone that has integrity, someone that's professional, someone that likes to market. Okay. So I'm writing those stuff down because I want to make sure that I identify, excuse me, that I identify with what the seller is looking for. Okay. So now, when you go ahead to do your open houses, the way to get more eyes on them is to go ahead and create an event on Facebook. Always create events on Facebook, create them on LinkedIn, create them anywhere that you can create events, create those events. And then I also use Eventbrite because sometimes people are browsing. What do I do on Plantation? What do I do in Sunrise this weekend? What do I do in Kendall this weekend? And now you have an opportunity to get more eyes. So I always use Eventbrite to showcase the open houses that we're going to do, and we turn them into an event. We allow people to register. Okay. This is what one of our ads looks like of an open house. Okay. Going back to open houses, I want to give you know. So how do I showcase my listings? I kind of learned this through COVID. I'm going to stop my screen share again so I can talk to you guys. I kind of learned this through COVID. How do I do my open houses is I do just like this. At the time that I meet with the seller, I meet with them, I sit them down, I draw out a calendar. So always bring a calendar to your listing appointments, okay? I bring out a calendar and I say, all right, today is the 13th of March. Today is Wednesday, the 13th of March. And then I say, okay, we're going to do the photography on the 18th. I'm writing everything into the calendar so the seller can see it and I can see it. So now they can identify what days we're looking at. Okay. Then after that, I say, okay, if we do the photos on the 18th, it's going to take me 48 hours to get the photos back. We're going to go ahead and we're going to list the home on the 20th. Okay. Which Mr. Seller, at the time that we list the home on the 20th, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our first open house where we're going to show the home ever, first time ever in life on Saturday. Okay. We can go, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we can go from 12 to 3 or we can go from 1 to 4. Which one works better for you? Okay. Because what I love to do is I love to boost the home and bring the most information to the public about the property. Because what I also do is I also bring back the calendar and I say, if we do the open house on Saturday, we'll get offers. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, what time on Monday or Tuesday can I meet with you to go over offers? Okay. So how does that help me? That helps me a couple of ways. That helps me one way to show the seller that I'm about business, but also it shows the seller that we're going to get your house off and on the market as quickly as possible. We're going to advertise your home to get you a lot of showings, a lot of activities. Okay. And then number 3, what it also does, it also says, hey, maybe we need to have a pricing conversation at this moment. Okay. Maybe we need to have a pricing conversation right now at this moment. Okay. Now with the pricing conversation, we may need to decrease the price, So it gives us that opportunity. So that calendar works in many ways. So if you guys don't have a calendar, what I do is I have just drawn out just a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't have dates on there, nothing. I just have a blank calendar. When I arrive to their house, if I met them on Tuesday, Tuesday happens to be the 18th. I write the day we meet, the day we're going to do the photos, the day we're doing the coming soon. I do the the day the property is going to be shown for the first time, the day the photographer is coming, and also if they have a closing date in mind, I'm going to write that closing date on the calendar so that they know that time is of the essence. Sometimes they got to relocate. Sometimes we have to figure out things because, let's say, for example, they want the house sold in the next 30 days, but then they don't want to price the property where it needs to be priced at. So what I do is, given that I know that calendar day, I'm going to say, hey, John, we're getting closer to you being in Chicago. We're getting closer to you being in Chicago. And I'm a little bit nervous that we're running kind of short on time based on the calendar frame that you gave me. And how do I know that? Because I wrote it down. Okay. So now he's going to say, what do we do, Jeff? And I'm going to say, hey, we probably need to talk about reducing the price. Okay. So everything that I do from day one is preparing the seller to go exactly where I want them to go, though. Okay. So I'm navigating the cruise ship from day one. Okay. All right. I'm going to continue, but let's pause here. 10:56. Any questions? I'll definitely get the recording to you guys. Any questions so far from anyone? Any comments? Anything anyone's doing different that they want to share with this group right here? No? No comments? No questions? All right. Are you guys learning something? Drop a 1 if you're learning something of value.
No, Jeff, the information's been fantastic, but if I can ask a question real quick, are you going to cover how you handle people on the phone to get the listing appointments? Because I make calls every day, but I've been struggling to get the appointments.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll definitely make sure we cover that at the end. I love it. I love it. All right, cool. All right, so everyone's learning something good. Good, 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 good. All right. All right, open houses, spoke about an event that we do. Okay. All right, now my team, okay? My team is very, very important on how you break up your team, okay? I want to let the sellers know that we have a team that's going to market, a team that's going to advertise, a team that's going to be a transaction coordinator, and maybe your team is you, okay? Maybe your team is just you, but you want to let the seller know that you operate in fashion of a team so that they understand that you're a business owner, okay? So I always let the sellers know that a lot of people spend a lot of time on doing stuff that probably doesn't help them to sell the property, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. What we do is we actually have people in place that helps us to navigate. And that's how, and I tell the sellers, I tell them up front, I have 17 active listings on the market right now. I have 8 pendings. I had 7 closings in January. I have 9 closings set for March. That's exactly my spiel when I sit down. Okay. And then, and what I do is I let them know that I have a team, so I can always take on more work. I can always take on more opportunities. I can always take on more sellers. Okay. So build the team out. There's a couple of stuff that's not in the presentation. But what I want to go ahead and do it, I want to add it now. I want to go ahead and add it now. So I'll go ahead and if you guys could just follow me on Instagram, I'm trying to build my Instagram following. So you just take one quick moment and follow me on Instagram so I could build my following. And then I also do have a community. I have a community that I engage with, a community that I provide value to, I provide tools to, I provide tips to. So if you guys are not a part of that community, go ahead and text TREM to 833-564-2108. 833-564-2108. And my goal for this year is really to build out the community because so many people have been asking me to. And I've been doing well. I've been doing extremely, extremely well this year. I want to go ahead and I want to provide
one more time, Jeff.
TREM to 833-564-2108. And I'll stop the screen share right here because I want to add some more stuff for you guys. All right. And what I'm really doing right now with the community is I'm working on a content calendar to move your listings. I'm working on that with my team. Okay. Like we're building that out. I'm working on scripts, my personalized scripts that I use to win people over. And I received a confirmation about that just about 2 days ago. Okay. Someone else did a role playing session and they said, Jeff, I believe your scripts that I've heard you say before, which Joe probably heard them and Tesca probably heard them before. He said you would have demolished this person. Okay. So that means I need to put the scripts to paper now. So I'm going to be creating the scripts. I'm going to get it out to you guys if you're a part of that, free of charge. And then just some tips on really what to say to the sellers, how to overcome and stuff like that. Okay. So that's pretty much a cumbersome of what I do for marketing for the sellers that are out there. We also do 100 steps. Mr. Seller, at the time that we take your property and put it on the market, there's 100 things that we're gonna do. Plus, I also talk about the websites that we syndicate. Okay, off of any MLS that you guys are a part of, it automatically syndicates to anywhere from 800, 900, 1,000 websites. I'll talk to them about that. I have that a part of my listing kit as well. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my listing kit with you guys as well. So make sure you guys have registered for the event. I'm going to send you guys my listing kit, what I actually print off and send to the people. I think you have it already, Joe. What I print off and send to the people when I go to the appointments. All right. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and flip. Because I understand there's some questions about how to overcome objections. Okay. Anyone making calls and they're struggling with that, drop a 2 in the chat. If you're making phone calls and you're struggling with that, or you're not making phone calls because you just don't know what to say, drop a 2 in the chat. Okay. Beautiful. All right, cool. All right, so guess what? Do not believe because you know the person, you're going to automatically get the deal. Do not believe because you are referred the person, you're going to automatically get the deal. Okay. 13 listing appointments already this month. 13 listing appointments already this month. I secured 2 of them. I secured 3, actually, 3 of them. And I have a couple more to come. Okay. So, and the reason I say that is because what happens is that we believe that because we know the people, they're friends or family of ours, that we don't need to understand scripts. Okay. Everything is a script. Our lives are scripts. Okay. The way you respond to your friend is probably a script. The way you respond to your spouse is probably a script. Everything we do in life is scripted. Okay. So how do we win more sellers is to understand the scripts enough where we're able to tweak them. Okay. So what I highly recommend that you guys do is get some scripts. If you don't have some already, start learning those scripts so that you're able to now tweak them. So when you're hit with something, you can be able to attack it. I went on a listing appointment in North Miami Beach. I was walking in as the other realtor was walking out. The seller had multiple appointments scheduled for that day. I was able to hit him on the head with everything. He said, "Man, you're good." He says, we temporarily took the property off the market because it's rented out right now. We're going to be putting it back on the market. Excuse me. We're going to be putting it back on the market. But he says, "Man, you covered every single objection that I have. I'm going to go ahead and sign with you." He signed on that spot. He canceled the other appointments. So I was able to cover the time frame of the listing agreement. I was able to cover the commission of the listing agreement. I was able to cover the cancellation, which I went over with you guys already. Okay. I was able to talk about pricing, price reduction, activity, showings. Okay. I was able to refer him to my handyman. My handyman was able to come there the same day. He painted the house. He got the place ready. It's a condo. He painted the condo. He got the place ready. So I gave him all the tools that he needed for him to just say yes to me. So with that being said, Joe, tell us what are the issues that you are having, and maybe the others in the room are having the same?
Well, I think I'm having trouble getting the motivation out of them. A lot of times when I ask them about, where did you plan to move to? Or a lot of times if they do answer that, oh, it's an investment property, I'm in no rush. Or if you have a buyer, I don't want to sign right now. If you have a buyer, you can bring them by. I actually got that one from a $29 million listing yesterday that was expired. And I know he's still interested in moving that property. So he eventually did hang up on me. We didn't have an argument or anything. He talked to me for a little bit, but like I said, I was trying to get that appointment, but I was just not able to break through that brick wall that he was putting up.
Got it. All right. So what I can say is that I've mastered the script so much, folks, that some of the questions I probably won't even ask anymore because they're not relevant. And what I've noticed is that we're asking the same questions rather than really getting out of what we need from the sellers. So one question I'd say to definitely remove out of your arsenal is, where do you plan on moving to next? Remove that out of your arsenal because it doesn't matter right away because they need to sell this property right now. Okay. Do I ask that question? Yes, I do. When I'm doing the pre-qual to meet them for the listing appointment, I say, at the time that we sell your home, another close, folks, at the time that we sell your home, where are you going to be moving to next? Because they may be going into a condo, they may be going into a single family, they may be going into Port St. Lucie from Florida. Hey, Nadine, you know. So what I want to do is I want to bring them options because I want to win them over. So if they say, hey, Jeff, when we sell our house here, we're going to be going into a condominium. What I do, as I say, where's the condo going to be? What does it look like? I bring options. So I got one book that's the listing presentation, and I got another book that's a book of options. It shows them that I'm ready to stand on business. It shows them that I'm very proactive. It shows them that I understand what their goals and their needs are. Okay. But to lock in the appointment, folks, I'm not really asking them about where are they planning on moving to next. Okay. Now, if I'm speaking to someone expired, FISBO, friend or family, referral, whatever it is, I'm going to automatically ask them, number one, are they willing to pay a commission? That's what I need to know. Okay. So, Joe, at the time that I bring you a qualified buyer, are you willing to pay a commission? Yes. Joe, what is that commission looking like? 3%, 4%, 5%. It's negotiable. Okay. All right. Number two, okay, what's stopping you from putting the house on the market with a powerful agent like myself? Okay. We don't want to list it. We don't want to tie ourselves down to anyone. We've sold properties on our own before. We want to try it out for 30 days on our own. Okay. Those all sound familiar, Joe? Those responses?
Yes, actually they do.
Exactly. All right, cool. So they want to try 30 days out on their own. I'm going to say this, phenomenal. I'm super excited that you want to try it out on your own. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and stop by and give you some material that can assist you with selling the property. Does 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock work better for you? Okay. No, we don't need anything from you. You can go ahead and email it to us. I said, great, I can definitely email it to you. But one things that I can do is I can present the stuff to you and show you how you can use them so you can get the property sold. Okay. And one thing I want to remind you, though, is that my goal is not to get a listing, Mr. Seller. My goal is to allow you the opportunity to sell your home. Okay. I'm pulling them away of having commission breath, having listing breath, because every listing, I took a listing, guys, just the other day in Miami, and he says, Jeff, the one reason why I stood on the phone with you was that you didn't have like you weren't asking for the listing. He said, I was on the phone with this Spanish lady and she kept saying, give me the listing, give me the listing, give me the listing, give me the listing. That's all she kept saying the whole time on the phone. Okay. I just provided him tools. That's all I did. I held a conversation with him. I provided him tools, and I ended up meeting with him. Okay. He has not made a decision just yet, but guess what? I got the appointment that he probably turned down to everyone else, you know? All right. So I just want to provide you some tools that you can use to possibly get the property sold. You can email them to me. no, I rather go ahead and go over them with you in person so I can show you how you can best use those so you can market your home and get it sold as quickly as possible. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm providing value to them, because what I can do now is I can now call them back. I've already met with them. I can call them back and say, hey, John, I know you had the open house. How was the information I presented to you? How was the open house? Okay. I'm still not asking for a listing. What I'm doing is I'm calling, I'm checking in, I'm providing value. Okay. Number two, I
Yeah, I'm
don't want to pay a
listening.
commission. Number two, I don't want to pay a realtor's commission. That's really why we want to sell the property on our own. Okay, I can totally understand that. All right. Now, question for you. Is your goal to not pay a commission, or is your goal to sell the home? Well, obviously the goal is to sell the home. Phenomenal. All right, Joe. And if I can show you maybe 1, 2, or 3 additional ways that you can sell the home while still covering my commission, is there a chance where we can meet for 10, 15 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
So now what I'm doing is I'm showing them how am I going to net them top dollar while still netting them what they want.
Okay.
And then somewhere in the sequence of that, I'm going to ask them, I'm going to say, hey, I understand you have the property listed for about 500. Is 500 your absolutely walkaway amount, or is there a number that you're looking to walk away with? Okay. 500 is what I'd like to get. I'll probably take 480. I'll take 470. They always have a number that's lower than what they're listed for, always. And now I know I have room to play around.
Mm-hmm.
So now what I do is I reverse engineer, guys. If I'm gonna charge a 7%, a 6%, a 5%, I know that 470 times 5%, this is the number that I need to be at. Okay. But then what I'm also doing is I'm also pulling comps to make sure I'm competitive to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not competitive to that, then what I'm doing is I'm lowering it while still covering the commission to get them towards their goal. And what I know is that when I do meet with them, the one thing that I got to tell them is, hey, do you want to be in fantasy land or you want to be in realistic land? Which I just had a seller call me yesterday. She says, Jeff, she says, I was irrational, I think she said. She says, I was irrational when I gave you that number I gave you. She says, I was irrational when I told you I no longer wanted to sell, but I'm rational now and I'm ready to sell at the price that you told me. You know? And I connected her with the stager. I'm not playing with y'all. I want to show y'all that. I connected her with the stager. Just yesterday after she told me she didn't want to sell the house. Hold on. Just right here. I connected her with the stager. The stager's going to be coming to her house on Saturday. We connected on the phone. I sent the text message out. And that's that. That's an appointment I went on just 2 weeks ago. Okay. Where she identified that she was being irrational about the price that she wanted. But now she came back to reality. Okay. So that's going to be number 2 when it comes for commission. Okay. Now, number 3, we spoke about 30 days. We spoke about commission. We spoke about bring me a buyer. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Mr. Seller, I can surely understand your need for wanting ample buyers, right? But if I can bring you one qualified, ready to go buyer, is that all you need to get this property sold? Got it. Okay. Now, we understand how the MLS works, right? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
I say 92% of homes, 98% of homes are sold through the MLS, and 2% of homes are sold. 2% of homes are sold off the MLS. So, Mr. Seller, the average buyer that's going to buy your home for top dollar and not try to negotiate with you and not try to cut you as far as your fee goes or your price goes, is going to come off the MLS. Okay. So the number one we need to do before bringing you buyers is I got to show you the activity that the MLS has just right now today, and how your house is going to get on and off the market as quickly as possible. Okay. And then what I do is I tie it into days on market. Days on market. That's why it's important, guys, for you to study the MLS. Study the MLS, study the areas that you guys work in. Study. Continue to study and educate yourself every day. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, your house happens to be in Tamarack, where the average days on market in Tamarack is about 34 days. Okay. So now in efforts, and this is using the MLS. Okay. If they're a FISBO, I'm going to tap into, hey, I'm looking here on Zillow. Your average days on market for your area is 34 days. But looking here on Zillow, you're hitting 27 days on the market and you don't have a contract. I'm a little bit concerned. Okay. So I'm using that information to let them know that, hey, I can bring you a lot of buyers, but I got to use the number one tool that's out there in the MLS services. Okay. You got to remember, I have a free, no hassle listing agreement. So that's already helping me out to say, hey, give me a chance. Okay. Give me a chance. Okay. So that's number two. That is number two. Okay. Now, the next thing that I'm saying, I'm trying to remember the objections. I don't know if you want to help me out here, Joe.
Yeah, go ahead. I just been putting the mute on because my dog's barking. Roofer showed up at the house, so I want that
That's
to
cool.
take.
What was the other objection? What was the other objection that I mentioned? We spoke about 30 days. We spoke about commission.
Yes.
We spoke about bring me a buyer. What else do you get?
Oh, the property's not for sale anymore. I get that a lot.
Expires.
Yes.
Got it. Now with the expires, I think it's like you may get them, you may not get them. What happens sometimes, I feel like expires really do stay as expired, because I've seen homes expired and then 2 years later they go back on the market, 3 years later they go back on the market, or sometimes they never go back on the market. They say the average expired list is within 72 hours, folks. The average expired that isn't expired list is within 72 hours. Okay. So the reason they say that the house is no longer for sale is because they're getting inundated with phone calls. And by getting inundated with phone calls, they're just turning people off by saying the house is no longer for sale. Okay. So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna call and I'm gonna say, as an expired, I'm gonna say, hey, my name is Jeff, and I'm calling about 123 Main Street. Okay. They're like, you're a realtor, and I'm like, yeah, you're probably getting inundated with phone calls, right? And they're like, yes, every single person is calling. The house is no longer for sale. I don't want to sell the house anymore. Okay, I can totally understand that. And I can totally understand the frustration in your voice right now that everyone's calling you and probably trying to just get a listing and maybe not even service the listing. Okay. I want to know, why did a home like yours not sell? I'm looking at the photos. Why did a home like yours not sell? I don't know. The realtor never did anything. Oh, the price is wrong. Oh, I couldn't show the property. Oh, I don't even know. Okay. You're not too sure why the home didn't sell. Okay. All right. Did the realtor ever provide to you any feedback on what was going on? No, I never heard from the realtor. The realtor never gave me any information. Okay. Okay. Did you ever ask the realtor what could have happened? What could have helped your house sell? No. Okay. Okay. And question for you: if the property would have sold, what would you have done next? Okay. Well, if my house would have sold, I would have went to Key Biscayne. I would have went to I would have went to anywhere. Okay, understood. Okay. Now, question for you. I know this is a little bit far-fetched because you're saying that you don't want to sell the house anymore. But if there was a slight chance, just a slight slim chance, that we can possibly get the home sold, would you be interested in meeting with me? Okay. Your tonality, your posture, your tone are very key components as well when speaking with these people, because you want to make sure that you're pulling their ears when you need to pull their ears, and you're giving the information as you need to give the information. Okay. Well, how are you going to do that then? Okay. That's great. I have a marketing plan that is specific to your home, that is going to help you get the home this time around sold. Okay. Question for you. What were some of the things that the realtor did when the property was on the market? And don't mind me, I'm just taking some notes here to make sure that we don't miss anything when we get your house back on the market. Okay. In addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let them know how confident I am about selling their property. Okay. So you have to remember, the house was on the market once before because they wanted to sell.
Right.
The mission didn't change. That you've already covered commission, you've already covered time frame because they signed with the agent 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. So you already know that. You already know per the MLS what they were possibly paying out. So I've covered 2 hurdles already. I can pull comps to say, hey, the house is overpriced. That's why it didn't sell. So now I got to understand what the seller's motivation is. Okay.
Yes.
And one things I think that we have to do is we have to provide more value than more, give me a listing, let me list your house, let me close this person. Provide more value, close as many times as you possibly can close for the appointment so you can go ahead and meet with the people. But do not, I don't really ever ask for a listing right away. Like I don't never say, let me list your house.
Right.
Okay.
I'm usually asking you
I
to
try.
get 20 minutes for me where we can discuss it, but like I said, that's just hasn't worked.
So I don't say 20 minutes. I said, if I can provide some tools for you that are going to help you to get the property sold this time around, do you have 5, 10, 15 minutes to speak?
Okay.
Okay. I give them the option. I say 5, 10, 15 minutes to speak. Okay. They're going to say, yeah, I have 5 minutes, just 5 minutes only. I'm like, yeah, I know it's going to take me an hour. It's going to take me an hour. But once I'm in your house, I'm already in there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Literally, this has happened to me. Literally, this happened to me Wednesday night. Wednesday night, I was supposed to meet a guy at 6 o'clock. He finally called me to confirm the appointment for 6, like around 4 something. And I said, hey, I can do 7 o'clock. And he's like, no, I can't do 7. I said, can you do 6:30? He's like, no. He's like, I could do 6. And I said, okay, I'll come over at 6. And then I think I didn't get there until like 6:30, 6:45 because of traffic that I had to go print his stuff off, which I had explained to him. When I got to the man's house, I said, it's only going to take me about 15 minutes to go through everything with you and your wife. He says, no, take your time. I literally said that. He literally said, take your time. But before, he was like, no, he couldn't see me at 6:30. He couldn't see me at 7. He could see me at 6, but I needed to make it quick, you know? So once you're in through the door, you're halfway there. Okay?
Got it.
You're halfway there. I also believe that you want to go ahead, and when it's an expired, you got to understand that they're devastated, they're disappointed, they don't trust realtors. Okay, they think every agent is going to do the same exact thing. It's just position yourself a little bit different on how you host the conversation so that you're able to win that person over. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Any questions from anyone else on the topics covered today? Any questions from anyone else on the topics that were covered today? You have any other questions for me, Joe?
Yeah, because I don't want to dominate.
Guys, I've gone on appointments. I've gone on an A appointment with Joe, and it was a great appointment. I believe it was a great appointment.
Yeah, it was. I learned a lot just sit there, and watching. When you talk about coming over to somebody and you're not talking about getting the appointment, but you want to give them tools to help them with their property, what kind of tools are you using?
My marketing plan. My marketing plan: photography, videos, content, postcards, magazines, newspaper ads, collaboration with other realtors, social media, those type of stuff. So
So
create a
you're really
powerful
doing
marketing plan.
So what you're really doing is you're actually kind of setting them up for the listing appointment. But when you do that, do you actually have the listing paperwork with you, or do you say, okay, I'll come back with it if they say, yes, I want to list with you?
I regardless if the seller's ready to list or not list, I always have the listing agreement with me. Because I would hate for them to say yes and I don't have it with me. I would hate for them to say, screw it, let's do this, and I don't have it with me. And by the time I leave and I get in my car, they've already changed their mind.
Gotcha. That
They're
makes
inundated with other buyers. They're inundated with other sellers. They're inundated with other realtors.
Jeff, I had a question. I'm sorry, I should have said something earlier when you asked the question. I was just trying to think of how I wanted to word it. So for example, oh, am I on camera still? Okay, there we go. For example, if it's an expired, how do I can go on MLS and I can see the name of the client, but how do we get their number? You know, I'm still new to the game. So that was one of the questions I had. And I was nervous. Like, I don't want to ask another realtor in my firm because they're like, well, how did you get your license if you don't know how to do this? So I felt it would be, you know, easier for me to ask you. I feel comfortable and not look like an idiot. It's just, I know there's ways of doing it. I just don't know how, you know?
So there's a couple things that you can do. You can subscribe to the white pages and get their
Okay.
information off of there.
White pages.
You
And
can
that's
use like,
whitepages.com.
yep, you can use third-party sites like Intellis, True People Search, People Finder. You can use those. I don't know what town you're in or what city you're in, but there's something that's
Miami.
called For. Oh, beautiful! You're down here. There's something that's called
Mm-hmm.
Forewarn.
Forewarn.
Yeah, Forewarn. It's a new app. Are you with Miami Association of Realtors?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. I'm gonna drop my number right here, and you could just text me,
Okay.
and I'm gonna send you the app because it's an app.
I appreciate that because I've been my first listing, it was through a friend. She's an immigration attorney, so you know she has a lot of contacts. But now it's to the point where I don't want to just, you know, be that person that's not actually trying to go out there and do something. I'm like, and just wait for referrals to come in. I want to put my name out there and get more aggressive. Well, not aggressive, but you know what I mean. Like just do more to try to help these people. So okay, let me text you. But yeah, that was one of the things I was
Beautiful.
concerned about. I'm like, I see the expireds. I've gone on Google. I've tried to search, but it's like I don't know how to find their number. Like, how do you find their email? You know, so that was one of the things I was asking about.
Hey, I don't believe that's a dumb question. I think that's a phenomenal question. And if anyone from your
Yeah.
office is telling you that's a dumb question, shame on them. And then number three, you can possibly just purchase calling lists. So you can purchase
Okay.
RedX, Vortex, Vulcan 7, Land Voice, Mojo, and they'll give you the expired address, the price, the phone number to the person, the most accurate information, the email addresses, and those type of stuff. For
Okay.
me, crap, I use RedX. For me, I use RedX. I had a
Okay.
blank moment there. I use RedX for myself. So that's that.
Yeah, because what was I gonna tell you? I've seen I've seen when I've gone on there, I've seen some names, but it'll take you straight to their social media. And it's like some of these people don't even check their social media like that. So it's like, how are you supposed to get in contact with them, you know?
I love that though. I don't know what system you're using, but me, I'll definitely get in someone's DM if
Mm-hmm.
I can have access to them. So the number one thing that I do is that when I do find clients, I automatically hit them up on Facebook as a save. Like I save them to, I add them to my Facebook. The reason I
Mm-hmm.
add them to my Facebook is because if I'm getting in contact with them and now I'm posting and they're gonna start seeing that stuff, they're gonna say, this is probably somebody that's engaged in real estate and I should be collaborating with them.
Yeah, because it's
So
physical.
so
They can
that's what I'll
actually see
definitely
it.
do. I remember one time I was calling pre-foreclosures and I hit a lady up on Facebook because she just was not answering the phone and I was able to walk her through the short sale process. I was able to literally walk her through the short sale process, but guess what? She finally responded to me on Facebook. So
Mm.
I would just hit them up. I would not ask for business. I would just say, hey, my name is Dr. Julian or my name is Julian. Local realtor in the area, and I landed on your Facebook page. And if I could be of any service to you, I'd love for us to connect.
Yeah, because even in corporate, you don't want to like come in the door trying to sell something because a lot of people don't like that. It's like, listen, if we need you, we'll call you, you know? That's the whole perception. So when you said that you're not trying to like be aggressive and get the listing right away, that resonated with me. I like that. That's a good approach.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But going back to you, Joe. Joe, I bring the listing agreement with me and I leave it. So let's say, for example, they decide to list with me or not list with me. I leave it in case I need to come back for them to sign, or they want me to send it electronically. But I leave it because I give them the opportunity to also review it. Here in this folder, Mr. Seller, the folder is for you. Everything that I'm going to be presenting to you today is for you, but I'm also going to go ahead and leave the marketing agreement in here as well so that you can go ahead and review it. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask me.
Very cool. Okay, thanks.
Got it. Any other questions or comments from anyone? Any other questions or comments from anyone?
Yeah, Jeff, I got one.
All right, talk to me.
Do you use your, I think that was your PDF you presented as a presentation. Do you use that also as a listing presentation as well?
On my iPad, I do, but that was not my presentation. I created that specifically for today with some of the arsenals of what we use. But yes, I do present directly off of an iPad sometimes, and sometimes I print the paperwork and I put it in a folder, depending on who I'm dealing with. If I'm dealing with a younger age person, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use the iPad. If I'm dealing with an older person, I'm gonna go ahead and go through the paperwork. And like what I'm doing with the paper is I'm going through everything and I'm also showing it to them. And then also, either way, if I go iPad or paper, folks, I still have the stuff printed out because I leave it with the seller. You guys always want to provide something tangible to the person so that they can go back to it and reference it.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Anyone else? What does your follow-up look like for an expired and FISBO that haven't yet given you the appointment? Beautiful. Great question. So one of the things I love to do is I love to grab their email addresses. If there's a possibility for me to grab their emails, I love to grab their emails. So once I grab their emails, I'm automatically putting them into my drip campaign where they're going to be getting a weekly email from me. I didn't speak about that, guys. Weekly emails. Create weekly emails of stuff that's happening in your life, whatever it is, weekly emails. So how are my weekly emails broken into? Number one, I'm going to have one personal thing that happens to me. So maybe I went to a restaurant, maybe I went to the beach, maybe I went to California. I'm gonna have that in my weekly email, and I'm gonna provide value. Hey, I was really thrilled to visit that brand new restaurant in Aventura called John's. Okay, one of the things I had at John's was I had the octopus. If you ever visit John's, I highly recommend that you guys try the octopus. Okay. Number two is I'm going to have a market update as far as what's happening in the space of real estate. I pulled that directly from Florida Realtors. And then number three is I'm going to always drop one of my listings in there. And as we just had the homestead exemption stuff in there, I would drop that in there, so on and so forth. So number one, they're going to always get my weekly emails. Okay. Number two, my campaigns are set up into FISBO, expired, sellers, buyers, renters, etc., etc. That once I drop them as an expired, the system automatically targets me when I need to follow up, when I need to send a note card, when I need to call again. Excuse me. And it also sends sellers automatic emails as well. It sends sellers automatic emails as well. So they're going to get the drip campaigns. Okay. So that's number one. That's number two. Number three is that if they say, hey, call me back in 30 days, call me back in 60 days, call me back in 3 months, call me back at the end of the year, I put it in my calendar automatically to call them back. And if it's a seller that I absolutely want to speak to and they say, hey, give me a call then, give me a call here, that reminds me of somebody that I need to call, by the way. I send a calendar invite. Regardless if they accept it or not, I send a calendar invite. Because what it does is going to alert my phone to call them. And when it does, I'm going to say, hey, John, it's Jeff. We spoke about 3 weeks ago. You told me to call you today around 9 o'clock. Just wanted to see if you're available to speak now. Okay. So that's my follow-up system when it comes to that. I'm always sending a thank you card, always send thank you cards, always send thank you cards, always provide information of value. Okay. Next, let me see what's next. We spoke about that. Weekly emails. I do a monthly newsletter as well. I do a monthly newsletter that everyone that's a buyer, seller, renter gets into my database. And the monthly newsletter is it's going to be all the homes that we had, all the closings that we had. It's going to be a call to action in there. It's going to be a call to action in there, and it's going to be something that's just exciting in the space of real estate as well. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Yeah, I got one. Do
All
you,
right, Robert,
I have one for you, Jeff.
go ahead.
Do you also have a virtual assistant as well? I mean, it seems like you're so busy. Do you have somebody to help you with that as well? Keep everything organized?
I didn't hear your question.
Now, I was asking, do you also have a virtual assistant? Because it seems like you're very busy. You're on the run. Do you have someone that also helps
Yeah, I
you
have
with?
staff. I have what I showed you guys on one of the slides. I have a paperwork person, I have a transaction coordinator, and I have a marketing person.
Okay.
So I can literally text my office right now to get me a document, and they'll get it to me quickly as possible. I can have them email something to somebody. I can have them make me a flyer. I love when I go to a listing presentation and I leave and I already have a banner made out and I'm able to send it to the seller right away. Because I paint the visual. I paint the visual. So yeah, I have staff. But if not, a lot of stuff you could do off of Canva, create the templates and save them onto Google. A lot of templates I have already are already in Google. I just fill in the blanks.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, of course,
I have a question.
of course, talk to me.
Okay, so my name is Jacaranda, and I'm located in Palm Beach, Florida. So I currently have three listings on the market. It's with a new builder. He does have projects he has completed in Broward, Fort Lauderdale area, Pompano area. So I have three homes right now in West Palm Beach. I don't know if you're familiar with that area. And the houses have been on the market for over 90 days. Due to the deed restrictions, I cannot sell them to an investor because of however he purchased the lots through the city. But I'm having a hard time getting any type of buyers that want to live in the area simply because of the location. Everyone that wants to purchase it wants to be an investor, but I cannot sell it to an investor. The location is an up and coming neighborhood. It's not the best. I've done nice video. I had videographers. Like, no one's willing to stay here. Like, so the homes are going to be completed this week. I'm headed here now just to see what the progress is. When I tell you I'm not getting absolutely anyone that wants to reside, and they're brand new 4-2 homes, nice homes, everything stainless steel. I'm talking about top notch. Like, no one wants to live here.
What I would do is that what I would do is, one, share those with me. I definitely want to share those to my database as well, try to get you a buyer. And then number two is price. I think for the right price, anyone will buy anything. So you got to have that conversation with the seller about price, especially with the houses already almost ready to go. I would talk to him about the price, reducing the price, getting the prices to be as aggressive as they possibly can, and now reintroducing those opportunities to those people. And then what I would do is I'd probably knock the area or get phone numbers of the area and say, hey, have you ever thought about upsizing? Okay. Have you ever thought about going to a new construction home? Because those people already live there. So I would show them if they can go to a construction home, they can sell their house, they can rent out their house. So that's what I would do.
Deronda, I had a question, honey. You said it's new development. So are they owned by people now, or is it owned by the construction company?
No, it's just what I do is let me just say this real quick before I forget. I'm gonna answer your question. To answer Jeff's question, yes, the price was a big problem. We went back and forth, but you know, I didn't want to lose him as a client. And I was telling him, you know, based on the comps in the area, when he was trying to compare it to comps that were like out of the jurisdiction, like out of the radius. They are close to the intercoastal. I'm gonna drop a flyer. They are no HOA. They're only owned by the builder right now. They're single family homes. I have 3 of them right now. I'm going to drop a flyer in the chat box. They're all on the MLS. I'm
Okay.
just having a hard time. Everyone that's calling me wants to invest it. And to be honest with you, it can be an investor. It's just that it cannot be purchased in the LLC name. It has to be purchased with the not with the what I was gonna
With the
say.
owner's name.
It has to be purchased. I forgot the limbo. It has to be purchased with the intent to reside. With the intent to reside. Like one young man came in and he wanted to do a package deal. Of course, you can't do a package deal because you can't stand all 3 of them at one time. So, you know, for tax purposes, they'll have to deal with that at the end, but you have to purchase the home with the intent to occupy.
Yeah, and they hire private investigators to go look at that stuff too, man. I've heard stories and situations. They don't play around with that real estate fraud when it comes to, I mean, the mortgage loan fraud. They don't play around with that.
Exactly.
And then Geronda, what part of Palm Beach County is this in?
It's in West Palm Beach. If you're familiar with Palm Beach Lakes area, the outlet, Tamarind Avenue, near Tamarind Avenue.
Okay.
It's east. It's more east. It's not too far from the intercoastal.
It's east of the 95 or west of the 95?
No, it's east of 95.
Okay, so it's on this side. Okay.
It's east of 95. Yep. I'm gonna drop
Yeah, I
as
mean,
soon as I stop
I
driving.
can help you. I can advertise in the, I mean, if you're okay with advertising, I'll help you with my Douglas Elliman network, because we have a lot of realtors that, you know, see our advertising and stuff that goes up. So I can help you if you want. Just let me know.
Okay, I appreciate it. And I also drop my number as well. Yes, I'm gonna talk to him, the developer that got me the deal. We're gonna have a meeting with him because we all know that we're letting the builder know like the price is an issue. Like the people that we're targeting to live over here, like this is a lot of money, like 470. Of course, is new construction, but no. And so I been out to the hospitals trying to get everyone educated about hometown heroes that are going to be having funds like in July to try to prepare them and everything. But 470, it ain't happening.
What I would do, what I would also do is, if he's having issues on lowering the price, then I would then see if he's interested in giving a concession. So incentives are a great way to get
about
buyers.
that, yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop it to y'all guys,
Yeah, give incentives. Talk to them about that again, but really just the price. But I would really target the people that already live there. I think that's going to be your go-to people, and they
Yeah,
may
that's a
have
good
family
idea.
members as well.
Okay, I'm gonna drop it to you guys.
All right. Anything else? All right, 2 quick announcements. Don't know if you guys are aware. I don't know if you guys are aware. If you guys are in Florida, or South Florida at least, at 1:30 today, a group of people are hosting lunch for my birthday. So you guys are welcome to drop by if you guys can make it. Quick little plug right there.
Yeah.
As we wait for the flyer.
Hold on. Okay, there it is. It's coming through now.
Oh, it's coming in the chat box. Okay. Oh, that's a beautiful house.
As we wait for the flyer.
Yes, they are. I'm here now. They're doing the landscaping. You know, they're surrounded by churches. Like I said, it's an up and coming neighborhood. I'm just trying to do whatever I can.
I can probably predict that.
Hello.
could probably
I'm the
I could probably
realtor. How you
predict
doing?
that. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, so if you guys are able to make it, please come on by. I love this flyer.
I
I'm
have
gonna
a
go ahead and
good
have my team
video,
rebrand this, and we're gonna showcase these
everything.
homes.
What I'm gonna do is do a new
All right,
flyer without the
I'm gonna text
price.
you your flyer if your information on the flyer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And what
do
I
a new
would
flyer
also
as well
do,
without the
what I would
price
also
until we discuss the price. Mm-hmm.
But what I would also do is I would also do unbranded materials. So always keep in mind that if you want people to advertise your listings, they don't want your information on there. So I would
Mm-hmm.
always do unbranded material as well and send those to the
Mm-hmm.
realtors so they can showcase those.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I appreciate that.
Okay. So a standard
Rhonda,
flyer.
you said all of these addresses are in the MLS already, right?
Yes, all of the
Okay.
addresses are in the MLS right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing the finishing touches up now. I'm here now. The landscaping, they're finishing the grass. All of the appliances are in. Washer, every appliance, washer, dryer, dishwasher, stove, refrigerator. I think we're doing a microwave. Just make sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you all. Hey, it's been an honor. It's been a great time with you all. Thank you for spending my birthday with me. Thank you for taking some information that's going to add to you guys to really gear into second quarter as the best agent that you possibly can be. I'm always here to be a student as well as a leader. So any way that I can provide value, any way we can brainstorm, always reach out to me. My personal number is in the chat. So let's stay connected. Let's not end it off here. Let's catch each other on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever we can. Hold on, let me drop. If you guys want to cash at me for my birthday, you can go ahead and drop a little cash app right there too. If I blessed you today and I gave you some knowledge that can help you to really, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If I gave you some knowledge or I gave you one tool that can help you advance your real estate career, and you want to go ahead and just bless me for my birthday, that's my cash app. This is my new Instagram is my name. I just added the line underneath. I just added the line underneath. So I'm still in the works to get my old page back. So I'm staying faithful.